All right, so here we go. We're going to get a little commentary for you guys. These Scotch doubles teams, we are in the C bracket, which means we're in the final bracket, single elimination, first round of the final bracket. Team Chris Tran, which is, the team name is Chris Tran, which is Chris Tran and Tara Carey. Skill levels 7 and 3. So Chris is a 7, Tara is a 3. And then on the other end of the table, we've got Are the Banks Still Open, which is Kim Harmon, who's a skill level 6, and her partner is Maria Argueta, skill level 5. This is a 4-3 race, so Chris Tran and Tara Carey have to go to 3. Are the Banks Still Open? Kim and Maria have to go to 4 games. In this Lincoln City Chinook Wins 8-ball APA event. We're at day 2. Yesterday was the first day, which is kind of a fun day with singles matches. Today is the early Scotch. We're moving on to the teams events and weekend Scotch soon. We are coming to you live from the EvoSports streaming platform, which is a player-run live stream system that players can use to live stream their matches. And I'm just kind of popping in for some commentary, but the players are running this stream themselves using the provided tablet, keeping the scores and having fun. And this is Patrick Nix commentating. All right, so Maria coming to the table. Surveying the landscape. The only ball that she's really got to see here is that 9 ball. Taking a stab at it. Good attempt. Does she gets the 12? Almost gets the 12 ball as a bonus. Doesn't quite go in. And so now Team Chris Tran. The team name is Chris Tran. Interesting. That's Tara Carey, who's a skill level 3 at the table now. Pocketing that first ball. Skipping her way back to the table. And she definitely left Chris a kind of a difficult spot here. He might decide to try to pocket this 12 off of the, come off of the 3 ball here. Come off of the 3 ball and try to bring the cue ball into the 12. I don't know. It's kind of a tough one, but it's not a bad play because you do have to open up that pocket eventually. You really don't have much to go with here. So I wonder if Chris is going to try to do that. Difficult here because he's got to use the bridge. It does look like he's looking at that shot. Just kind of thin the 3 ball. and try to roll that cue ball up to just tap the 12 in and leave the cue ball in the, right next to the pocket there. You got to be careful not to follow it in, because if you hit this really full, there's a chance you're going to scratch. Very difficult cueing position here, being over the top of that 8-ball with the bridge. Well done. And he does exactly as I had predicted. A well-played shot. That's about all he could do. The best possible outcome, leaving that cue ball just inside the jaws of the pocket, making it very difficult for Kim to really have much to look at here for offense. It looks like maybe she has a cut on the 13. I believe that might be what she's aiming for. Let's take a look here. She might be able to see that 13 to the pocket down there, but it looks very difficult. Got to miss that 5 just barely. And she hits the 5. Yeah, that was really close. It had to have been really close. So a ball in hand. Nice reward because of Chris's superb safety play and smart move, taking away that 12 ball out of the pocket and leaving the cue ball there. Gets rewarded with ball in hand for his partner. So Tara Carey at the table now. Nice little draw stroke there. And Chris and Terry only have to go to 3. So Chris setting up his partner for probably the 1 in the side, I'm guessing, would be their next shot here. She does have to be aware that that cue ball might run into the 9 ball here. But I don't think so. I think she's flat enough on it. Yeah, she could just roll up and try to leave Chris some type of a decent look, and she did. It's very manageable for Chris to pocket this 7. It is tough to get positioned, though, on another ball. Now he can play the 7 here and try to push forward with top. Yeah, that's the spot that he's looking. Push forward with top and try to bring the cue ball up this way and out to this area here for the 5 next. I think that's ideally what he's looking to do here. He might actually have to go 2 rails to get that position. So let's see if he gets to the side rail as well. I can't really tell with the angle, but yeah, side rail and out to that position. Very good shot. And probably just coaching his partner to just roll it in. Just focus on pocketing the ball. Don't worry about shape. The shape will be fairly natural, even if it's a long shot. You want your 3 to leave your 7 at any shot possible, but just get him back to the table. Okay, so she peppered that thing in there, Mach 5, and rattles it out. So now Kim and Maria back to the table. Are the banks still open? And Maria, who just shot that ball, is a skill level 5. Kim, who's coming to the table now, is a skill level 6. So definitely experienced players here. Oh, I might have had it backwards now with Kim and Maria. No, I had it right. I apologize if I'm mixing up the names. I am just meeting these people for the first time, so I'm trying to get it right, but yeah. That was Kim that just shot that ball. So now Maria coming to the table, using the bridge. And just to get a nice safety on that ball, not showing any piece of the 5. That's what they want. They want Chris to shoot at this 4 ball to unlock the 10. So kind of baiting him into breaking out their cluster for them. He's very smart, but Chris is not taking the bait. He'd rather just kick at the 5 ball rather than hitting the 4. So Chris, very savvy player here, not taking the bait. Says, I'm not breaking out your problem. He said, find somebody else to do. I'm not doing it. So Chris just nice kick shot on the 5 ball and gets a pretty good safety because he uses the 8 ball as well to get blocker. A blocking shot. That's not going to make it to a rail. It looks like that's going to be ball in hand. No rail contacted after the hit. So let's see where Tara wants to play this. She might want to get some coaching. She is going to get a little coaching session from her partner. He's going to try to help her out. He says, if you can put a draw stroke on this, you can freeze the cue ball, bring the cue ball right back to the rail and right back to the 4. So here's what they want to do here. Bring the cue ball into the 4, into the rail, and back to the 4. And the 4 is going to stay exactly where it is now. The 4 is not going to move at all because it's going to bump into the 10 and just kind of stick right there. So just a little bit of draw, he's explaining. But the key with this shot is you have to hit it fairly delicately. If she powers that thing, the 4 is going to go away nice and soft. But that's the hardest thing to do for a new player, is to hit the ball really delicate and soft, right? So let's see if Tara can execute this. This is kind of a higher level safety to execute, just because you're only moving the cue ball 2 inches. You don't want it to go further than that. Yeah, it's very hard to hit soft. So good try from Tara. Definitely something that you should practice always when you're a newer player to this game, especially playing 8 ball. Those kind of safeties and those little delicate 2-inch shots to play safety on a ball, practice those a lot because they come up a lot in 8 ball and they can win you games when you successfully execute them. So fortunately, she didn't unlock the 10 ball with that. Oh, so this is going to be a ball in hand now. Another ball in hand. So now Chris with the ball in hand opportunity. He's got to think about how he wants to play this. He could pocket their ball intentionally with the combo. It looks like it combos straight. It might be wired to go, and maybe draw the cue ball back to a difficult spot, but you're kind of taking a chance there that you're going to be able to get back to the table with something. This is difficult. This is pretty difficult to do. All right, we got a visitor over here to the commentary booth. Eric, who is whose wife Kim Harmon is playing in this match, and 5-year-old Kaylee, 5-year-old Kaylee. Shout out to Kaylee watching our stream. Hoping you're enjoying watching your mom play some pool. So Chris electing to play the safety this way to try to maybe get the cue ball down behind the 5 ball or behind the 8. Okay, not a bad play. So he loosened it up and left them difficult, but it was difficult for Chris to execute anything that would have been like a lock-up safety there or anything specific like that. So so now Kim's coming to the table, and I think Eric just told her that Kaylee is watching. And then we gave her a shout out. So I think she got a little kick out of that. Maybe that puts a little extra pressure, knowing that family is watching at home. Uh-oh, cue ball. Oh no. So the unfortunate scratch from Kim, but I tell you what, that was a reward for Chris Tran's intelligent safety play that he played on that ball to only give a very difficult shot. So here we go, Tara Carey at the table. And I would assume that Chris is going to try to get her as perfect a shape as possible on this 8 ball. You want your skill level 3 to have a nice, easy 8 ball. Probably the 8 ball will go in that same pocket. I believe that he will be going off this ball and trying to come around maybe to this area here. He tried. That was the line to get to, but he kind of got a little wide with it, but still okay. It's still a very manageable shot. Very manageable shot on the 8 ball here. You got to bear down and take your time here with these. And down it goes. Tara Carey with the 8 ball to take the early 1-0 lead. Chris Tran in the lead. And again, they only have to go to 3. Are the banks open? Have to go to 4. And just a reminder, you are watching this on the EvoSports live stream system. This is a player-run live stream system that we offer to bars and pool halls that support pool, that we install professionally. Players can literally go to their favorite pool hall that has this system installed. They can walk up to the pool table. There's a tablet there. They type in their name and their race length and hit start stream, and it automatically generates a stream on YouTube, and they can share with their friends. And then they keep score on the tablet, and it changes the scoreboard on screen. So I am literally doing nothing except for talking to you guys. They are running the stream themselves. Okay. So Chris Tran to break. Chris plays out of the Portland area.
On table 27, we have
Gets a really good break. But I don't think anything went down. So I think it was a dry break, but an incredibly wide scatter of balls. He got a lot of momentum and force into that and sent balls flying everywhere except for in the pockets. So open table here for Maria to get started. And she starts off with stripes. Gets them going. Now Kim has the option of taking this 11 ball, which she's going to do. Take the 11 ball here to this pocket. Or if she doesn't like it, she also has the 9 ball up here to shoot at. Both good options. But I think she's seems to be focused in on that 11 ball.
Joy and Pavel to the mini tournament desk, please.
No, she might be changing her mind. She might be going for the 9 now. I kind of like the 9 ball here. It's not a bad shot. You just roll it forward, and then you'll have the 10 in the side next, I believe. So this 10 ball goes cleanly in the side.
Purple Cobras and Buckets and Bling. Purple Cobras, Buckets and Bling, you're on table 37.
Nice shot from Maria.
Okay, Nick Skellinger, you're in the room.
And the shots are getting harder now. As the cue ball kind of gets further away and further out of control, they're going to have to make good shots here to continue this run. And this is going to be one of the toughest shots. Oh, here we go. I like this shot. She's going to play a safety down here. Right off of this ball, and try to bring the cue ball right in here. Oh, I like it. Good safety. Bringing that cue ball all the way to the bottom of the table. And so Tara is going to have to try a little bit more difficult shot than maybe she was hoping to get. And narrowly avoids the scratch there. Okay.
Okay, Pavel and Richard on table, table 5. Pavel and Richard on table 5. And then Joy and Trevor on table 2. Just mixed it up. And Kevin K and Allison M on table 15. Kevin K and Allison M on 15. Thank you, Nick. I will get your match called shortly. Tatiana and Naresh versus Aaron and Randy on table 64. That is Tatiana and Naresh on table 64 against Aaron and Randy. You're on table race to 3 on table, yeah. Yep.
All right, so Chris looking at this 7 ball to get going here. And I think he wanted to roll that up a little bit further because I think he was hoping to provide a nice straight shot for Tara to have the 2 in the side next. But he came a little short of his desired position there. And so Tara has to choose now between the 2 or the orange 5. I think probably the 5 is going to be your easier shot. She's kind of looking between the 2 options, figuring out what looks more comfortable for her. And a good leave there. Don't think she really gave up too much. Maybe the 15 plays, actually. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, yeah, I think there's a window to get that 15 ball in the pocket for Kim. Let's see what she can do here.
Okay, if you had signed up for the 6 and below,
I think that's all she's got.
It's going to be a race to 3, alternating breaks, 8-day rules. These are your table assignments. You're going to have Chris B and Adrian on table 54. That's Chris B and Adrian on 54. Nick S versus Eric H on 55. That's Nick S versus Eric H on 55. Jeremy E versus Dallas on table number 62. It's going to be Jeremy E versus Dallas on 62.
Okay, so here goes Kim.
And then Micah.
She is looking at that 15 ball. I think it's very close. Like, I think she has to miss the 4 ball very narrowly. So difficult shot.
10 Scotch doubles, skill cap 10 or below, or singles 6 and below.
And a good attempt from Kim there, but it's definitely a tough shot. It was a very tight window to get through. All right, so Chris taking on this 4 ball, trying to get the cue ball back off the bottom rail and back up in between, I believe, in between the 13, 15. Yes, just like that, but he missed the ball. That was exactly the leave that he wanted. The path to get back up table was right through those balls, and it was very touchy to get there. So good attempt, but sometimes when you focus so much on that perfect cue ball path, you end up taking a little bit off of the aim of the shot. And I think that's what happened there. Okay, so ball in hand now for Tara. She's probably going to want to start with that purple 4 ball. I think that that's the ball that is the toughest ball on the table, and she recognizes that right away. Get started with more difficult balls when you have ball in hand. That's typically what you want to do. And see if she can just get Chris a decent look at the 3 ball next, I believe. Well, I think he's got the 2 ball. That's probably going to be his better ball here to shoot. They can come back for the 3 and the 6 later. But the 2 ball, playing that here, brings the cue ball down into this path here, I believe. So he could hold it for a nice, easy 1 ball for his partner, Tara, to shoot. He might draw, it looking like he's going to draw this off the side rail and back just to hold it for position on the 1. Very good. You can tell Chris is a very skilled player. He's already not only executed some really well-hit shots, but also made some really good decisions. And Tara doing pretty well for a skill level 3. She's holding her own for sure, keeping Chris at the table. Oh, just rattles it there. He was really trying to get something extra to try to draw that cue ball back for the 5. Good attempt, but that's going to leave a really good opportunity here for Kim and Maria to come and try to steal this game away, essentially. They've got a really good opportunity here. And they're so busy having fun talking to each other that Maria didn't realize it was her turn. So Kim had to just yell at her and say, hey, it's your turn, get up there. So everybody's seeming to have a good time here in Lincoln City. I mean, what's not to like? We're in a room with 80 pool tables and a bunch of good friends. So okay, let's see if she can get this and hold this for the 10. No good. She was really trying hard to hold that cue ball for the 10 ball next. And I understand why, because, you know, that was right there as the optimal position for the cue ball for that 10 next. But again, focusing so much on the leave makes it somewhat difficult to maintain that aiming line. Okay, so Tara with the 3 ball on the side. Try to roll up. And didn't quite get shape on the 6. So Chris TRAN is going to have to figure something out here. I'm not sure what the right thing is to do. It's kind of a difficult situation. I don't really see a super obvious safety.
As you finish up your matches, please do clean up after yourself.
Yeah, I don't see a real obvious safety play here. So I wonder if he's going to take a chance and just play offense, because the safety is not really there. So he is going to, I think he is going to take a chance and go offensive here and attack that 5 ball, hoping to bring the cue ball down and back in time in a good place for Tara to have a shot on the 6 ball next. So really difficult, a lot to ask, but the safety is probably more difficult to play successfully. So when the safety is just as hard or harder than the shot, you play the offensive shot always. And that's kind of the situation that we have here. So he went for it, and no good. And that's going to bring Kim back to the table with a pretty natural looking pattern here to get the 11 and then potentially the 13 and I think it's the 10 ball or 12 ball, whatever that one is. Can't tell if it's the 10 or the 12, whatever it is. But that's going to be kind of the challenge, is that ball. She's looking at it. If she has it now, I think she should take it right now. That would make the run out so much easier if she took it now. And a very smart play to recognize that. Kim showing her intelligence, her pool intelligence here. That is the absolute right play, because it would have been a harder ball to get to later. Take it when you have the chance, and then you know the 11 ball is a guarantee setup. So I'm impressed with her decision on that. Recognizing right away that it would have been more difficult later to get to that ball. Okay. And Maria getting her flat on the bottom rail. I think there's room here to bring the cue ball off of this rail and right into this window. So she's looking at this window for the cue ball. Let's see if she can get there with the cue ball so that she sets up Kim for the, so she sets up Maria, sorry. Yeah, she got right into my circle. That was absolutely perfect. So Kim setting up Maria for the easy 8 ball in the side. I couldn't have drawn that up any better. And she couldn't have shot it any better because she shot it exactly as I drew it up. So I'm impressed. This is a very good succession of shots here, showing their skill. And you got to close it out with the 8, and she does. Gets a nice cheer from Kim, and they have tied the match 1-1. All right, so Tara now coming to the table. eyeing up the one to the corner, and Solids is really looking like the best position suit here for this rack. And even though she missed that, I still think Solids is definitely the favorite in this rack. The way they're positioned right now, everything is fairly shootable for Solids, whereas Stripes has a few problems with this cluster in here. Certainly, you know, whenever all of your balls are kind of, 4 of your balls are just clustered in one area, it definitely makes it more difficult. Oh. All right, so miss on the 14 ball from Maria, but not really selling out anything easy here for Chris, leaving that cue ball all the way on the bottom rail. And I believe the only shot that Chris really has offensively is to play the 4 ball up in the top right corner, but that's pretty tough. And he's going to lose the cue ball. The cue ball is going to go right into this area here, and it's not going to be real predictable, I'll say. It's not going to be very predictable as to what kind of position he's going to end up with if he makes that shot. He also could play a safety here, I think. Oh, so he's going to try to jack up and draw this cue ball away from the 15 and make the 4. So very difficult here. And he overcuts it by just a little bit, but he was able to control the cue ball enough by jacking up like that. He was able to put enough draw on the cue ball to bring it to the rail before the 15 and out. And I think that's what he was really hoping for, so that he could control kind of where it goes easier. When it starts running into a bunch of balls, you just never know what's going to happen. Okay, so Kim with a miss on the 9 ball, and now that brings Tara to the table. And I think still, Solids are still in pretty good position, but not as good as they were, because now that 7 ball does not play down here because the 9's in the way. So she might want to consider taking that 7 ball up table right now. I think it's a good time to do it because the Stripes are still kind of tied up down here. So that's the time to take your chances, right? When your opponent doesn't really have a very clean out in front of them, you can go ahead and take some chances and put your balls in better positions. So, okay, nice shot on the 1 ball. And sets Chris up nicely for the 6. He's got his options here. He can shoot the 6 or the 2 ball. But I think Chris is also recognizing that the 7 is the problem. Every other ball plays except for the 7. He needs to figure that out. And he knows that you have to do it earlier in the rack versus later. You don't want to end up with that being your last ball and having it not have anywhere to go. I wonder if he might try to do something here to, yeah, he's looking at the path to try to see if he can pocket the 6 and bring the cue ball around. I don't think you can, though. I think he's going to run into the 7 if he does that. So Chris is going to try to do something here. Is what he was looking at was try to get behind the 7 with the, hit the 6 up table and try to bring the cue ball this way to go underneath, and so he could shoot the 7 next. But I just don't see that being super realistic, and neither does he. That's why he's deciding to take the 7 ball now, even though it's a much tougher shot than the 6. He knows that this is the money shot right here. Yeah, make that ball and you're in good shape. Okay. Good attempt and a smart shot. I think it was the right shot to take that ball right then. Okay. So now Maria to the table. She's got the combo on the 9 ball. I think that's the only real good opportunity here. I don't really like this combo that she's looking at right now, just because it kind of lays better for pocketing them individually versus comboing them. Yeah, she agrees. Nice slow combination shot, leaving the other ball right there for Kim to work on. And this is a nice little angle too. Kim should be able to pocket this and bring the cue ball up to a nice position within that circle. So she's got the 15 next. Oh, she might want to take the 15 now. Okay, if she's got it. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, just came into that 10 first. So, yeah. I thought, well, if she's got it, no reason not to take it right there if that's the shot you like. But you got to execute it good.
There's 36 tickets left. That chicken hat is going fast.
And so we're seeing a little bit of a struggle from Kim and Maria here as they played pretty solid in the first rack. Starting to struggle a little bit here in this one. And Tara with the combination attempt comes a little short.
Please come to the tournament desk. You are needed. Stacked.
And now Maria back to the table. If the 15 has room, I think she takes it now. I don't like the combo. If she's going to attempt the combo, I'm not a real big fan of combinations unless they have to be comboed in. I prefer to, unless you have to, I prefer not to take combination shots. Just sometimes things roll a little funny on you there. But that's just my personal opinion. Okay. So options here now are the 10 or the 15. I think the 10 to the side is probably the best play because it brings the cue ball off this rail back into this area here for the 15 next. So the 15 on the side doesn't necessarily get you the best leave. Yeah. Kind of a little harder to get the shape right with that shot versus playing the 10 on the side first. But she does have the leave. Kim's got the 10 ball in the corner. It plays there. I'm going to try to just put a draw stroke on this and try to hold or just draw the cue ball back. Okay, she went forward with it. Not a bad idea. A little bit farther and she would have had really good shape on that 14, which is really the ball that's going to be a challenge to get on. And I think you might have to take the 14 right now. Taking that 14 now, you don't want to wait until later when you just don't have it, but this is a difficult shot. But I think that's what you probably want to do here, because if you hit this, if you go with this 12 ball into the pocket here, you're probably going to run right into the 5 and not really have much to shoot at on the 14 if you make it. So she didn't run into the 5, but she also did not get shape on the 14. Yeah, that was what I was concerned with there is, you know, the getting that shape on the 14. Now, had she missed the 8 ball and went a little bit harder on that, she would have actually gotten shape on that 14. So that would have been a fantastic shot. I just didn't know that that was possible to get back and forth between the 5 and 8 like that. But we can't see the angles as good as the players can because they're at the tables. So they usually make the more correct decisions. I'm just kind of guessing at it from what I see from way over here. Okay, yeah, Oh, Kim. She did not want that to happen, so Kim giving a few leg kicks and exclamation of that scratch off of the ball. So Kim giving up ball in hand to Chris Tran, and he is looking at how he wants to start the run out here. And he doesn't have to play the run out. He could play a safety, pocket the 7, and leave the cue ball right behind the 4 and get another ball in hand if you want to. Kind of makes the run out maybe a touch easier if you were to do something like that, but I don't know. You probably don't have to play another safety.
All right, so if you signed up for the 6 and below 8 ball tournament, these are your table assignments. You're going to have Swarnendu and Zane on table 72.
So let's see if Tara can put a good draw stroke on this cue ball.
Jimmy R and Ajit on
She wants to hit right there, nice and low on that cue ball, and bring it back. Okay, going forward is not bad. It's because she also does have the 6 in the side, but I'm pretty sure that you know, you got to be down in this area down here for somewhere in here. You want to be in that wedge to be able to play that 7 ball. Because I don't think the purple 4 passes by the 7 into the corner. So Chris might be taking that 7 right now. Yeah, he is. Smart shot here. The leave is going to be a little challenging. So he may come back and bump that 4 on his way back out. Well, he bumped the 4 on the way in. So that's going to leave a very good and unexpected opportunity for Are the Banks Open, Maria and Kim, to try to take a 2-1 lead here with these 2 balls. Very fortunate to be back to the table after that scratch.
And then Vina and Chavi versus Craig and Matt on 61.
And down the 14 ball goes, and now Kim gets to shoot the 8 ball. She gets to be the hero of this rack. After scratching on the 14, she gets to come back and make the 8 ball. So on her very next turn to the table. So that's got to be a good sigh of relief. It makes all of any missed shots during the rack are all erased as soon as you pocket the 8. Nobody will ever remember. Except for that we caught it on camera, but yeah.
If you need any maintenance, perhaps the shaft cleaned, tip shaped, or anything else.
And down goes the 8 ball for a 2-1 lead. Are the Banks are open, are on the hill, and we'll be breaking. I'll be right back. Just a quick break.
Well, it looks like it might be a break. When he gets back, head over there. In the meantime, look at the bigger box. They got new cues.
All right, Maria to break, looking like she's going for the 2nd ball break here. And gets a couple of balls in, so let's see what we've got here. I think I saw 2 balls go in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 solids and 6 stripes. So she has the option now, Kim does. Kim's got the option of stripes or solids here to get rolling.
Ref to table 31.
Yeah, Maria had to go check and see what was pocketed. I think I can count that there is one stripe and one solid missing. Oh, and we can also see down here, if you look closely, there is a stripe and a solid down there in the hopper. So, option. It's always nice to have the option after the break. One ball or two ball is available. I think that the 12 ball is also available if she really wants stripes. Of course, the 3 ball is available. That's the easiest shot, is the 3 ball. Okay, that's what she's going for. Start out with the 3. Come up for the 1 in the side next. And they will be off to the races. But I do believe that this is going to be the big challenge of this rack, is all of this cluster right here. That 4 ball and the 5 ball do not have pockets that they can go to, so they must be broken out. You have to find a way to get to those balls and break out those clusters, and you want to do it early if you can.
All right, we have a bunch of boards that just started, and so we're getting more,
Okay.
And we're getting more signed up.
You always have to remember, in 8 ball, the more balls you pocket, the harder it gets for you.
So we've got a 6 and below and a 4 and below.
Now, they don't have to be broken out, because if you were to leave the cue ball in this area right here, you could play a combo on these 2 balls down to the bottom right corner. So that is a possibility, but you have to get... Oh, she's going for the breakout. Oh, what a shot. Heck of a shot. Getting that cue ball all the way around the table to come back and try to bust open those balls. And don't think that she really made it there, but it was a heck of an attempt.
Around 18.
So Maria sends that 7 ball for a ride around the table. And Tara Carey, first time at the table now for this rack. And they're in a pretty deep hole here. Her and Chris need to really step it up, because they have to win 3 straight racks to win this match. It's not going to be easy to do, but not impossible. Just got to win this 1 rack and then start over. You only need to win 1. So that's all you can do, is win 1. So I know what Maria wanted there. She was trying to block that pocket with the 4 ball. Good strategy to try to roll that into the path and block that pocket so that Stripes doesn't have the opportunity to use that pocket. And let's see what Chris comes up with here. He's thinking. I think he plays off the 11. I think he's going to play this shot. Come off the 11, bring the cue ball down here, and I think he's trying to get the cue ball in this area right here. What do you guys think? Is that what Chris is trying to do here? Play that safety? I don't think the 11 goes in the pocket. I think he's going to try to play a safe here. Right, follow that line. And look at him follow that line. Look at this. He almost got there. And he got good enough, but it could have been really a lockup if he gets behind the 10 or behind that 12 ball there. But he knew exactly what to do there, and I knew exactly what he was going to do. But very successful. And he did, though, however, I believe he did give it an opportunity at the legal hit here. So he didn't, it wasn't quite a lockup safety because I think Maria at the table right now has a chance to at least get a legal shot and not give up ball in hand, which is a big deal. If he just gets that cue ball just a little bit further over here, they're probably going to end up with a ball in hand out of this. But this will be a legal hit at least. Oh, maybe not. I think it might have hit too soft and rolled off on her there and ends up, so they do get the ball in hand out of that. And he might instruct Tara, he might coach Tara, his partner, to put the cue ball over here and play that 15 first, right into the side, since that is the trouble ball. You always want to take care of those first when you have ball in hand. Heartbreaker. It's never fun to miss with ball in hand, but it's okay. We all do it. So now Kim up to the table may have a chance to squeeze this 4 ball past the 13 over here. I don't know if she's got that. Let's see if it. Yeah, I think she can play that shot and either pocket the ball or at least bring it to where it's blocking that pocket. So I think that's what she's going to try to attempt here on the 4 ball. Okay, so she's not going for that. She's going for the sort of that breakout shot on the 5 ball.
All right, James P. and Timothy
And this
B
is
on
interesting
table
here.
13. That's James P. and Timothy B. on 13.
Going to want to take a close look at how that 7 and 13 are positioned down here. We want to take a real close look at this because if they're wired to go to the pocket, you can set your partner up for that 9, this 9, 7, 13 combo. If they're not, you probably want to find another way to attack that problem. I don't think they're wired necessarily. They might have to, it might go, but it might have to be hit really gently or with some throw. So might be a little bit more difficult than it appears. Is he playing the bank on the 9 and combo in the 13? I think he might be here. Nope, he's just going to straight pocket the 9. see, we've got some fans in the chat. Chris Tran fans rooting on Chris and Tara.
Rich, table tech to table 72, please. Table tech to 72.
Nice slow roll on that 11 ball from Chris. And Chris and Tara have a big uphill battle here. Again, they have to win 3 straight racks to win this match. If they lose 1 rack from here, that's over. Because Are the Banks Open only have to go to 3. Whereas Chris and Tara need to go to 4. Because they are the higher skill level team. Wait, did I have that wrong? Sorry. I have that backwards, guys. Sorry, I have that backwards. Chris Tran and Tara Carey only have to go to 3. I apologize. Whereas Are the Banks Still Open? They have to go to 4. So, sorry, I've been saying that wrong the whole time. So, making that correction now. The players know. It's just the commentator doesn't know, apparently. But yes, Chris and Tara only need to go to 3. So they need 2 wins, and the other team needs 2 wins. So it's kind of an even race right now.
I have an announcement for everybody who is involved in 3-person teams. If you have not checked in, please come up and check in now. Please be prepared.
So Tara doing a good job listening to the strategy of her partner. She seems to be very receptive to the advice and coaching, which is always a good thing as a newer player. And he said, I think he said, don't worry about where you get me on the 8 ball. Just make the ball and I'll take care of the 8 ball. That's what you're supposed to tell your partner when you're a 7 and they're a 3. Just make the ball. And he puts his slice of watermelon on the table to mark the pocket. Looks like a slice of watermelon there. I'm not really sure what that is. Some kind of pocket marker. And this is a high difficulty level of shot because your cue ball is on the rail and the 8 ball is kind of a far distance from the pocket. So it has to hit very, very accurately for this to go. And he does. He hits it very accurate, right down the center of the pocket. So now Chris Tran and Tara Carey are on the hill. They only need to go to 3.
All right, Pavel and B-Joy on table 2. Pavel and B-Joy on table 2.
Tekka over here lighting up the chat room. It's good to see people get engaged in the chat. It's been kind of boring over here all day in the chat room. So okay, so Tara to break. Going with a head ball break here. Going right into that head ball and see what you get. Nothing going down. Okay, so all the pressure now is on Are the Banks Still Open? Kim and Maria, they need 2 wins to stay in this tournament. And this is a single elimination bracket now. We're in the the final bracket of this event. And loser is eliminated. So
there's a pocket marker that has gone missing. It is a beloved pocket marker. It's one of those wood pocket markers. On the back, it is got the name Spyro on it. If you have found it, please do bring it up to the tournament desk. It has a lot of sentimental value. Spyro. On table 27.
Okay, nice shot from Maria there. Getting that 11 ball out and pushing that cue ball forward.
Table 7. We have at Clark's and Magic and Muscles. Magic and Muscles at Clark's. You're on number 7. For those checking in the 3-man team, if you do not know your team number, you can find the team number on the boards in the hallway. Or come up here and donate $1.
So,
all right, Chris B and Eric H.
taking their time here.
55. That's Chris B to table 55.
Kim is definitely taking her time figuring this out because all of the balls are available to pocket here. You want to make sure you're playing the right pattern. So she's looking at the 10 first. 10 ball down in the corner. Well done. Nice shot there from Kim. And setting up Maria for potentially the 12 here. I don't know if that 12 can play by those 2 balls. But if not, she certainly has the 14 down here to work with. She's looking at the 12. And if it does go by, and you don't want to bump the 9 here, because if you bump the 9 goes into a much worse position than what it's at right now. Okay, she was able to get straight through. Well done. And now that leaves the 9 available for Kim to shoot. As the challenge here is kind of getting the cue ball loose. So you want to get the cue ball out of that mess. You don't want to be stuck behind the 4 or the 2 here. So you want to try to punch that cue ball back out somehow. And she does. That was very good. Very good. So this is so far all off of the dry break from Tara. After that, Chris and Tara have not been back to the table at all. It's just been the Kim and Maria show over here. And they want to take this thing to Hill. Oh, no good on the 15, so here we go. This is the most open looking rack that we've seen so far in this match. They've been pretty locked up for a little while where they've had a lot of clusters to deal with and a lot of problems, but this one seems to be fairly open with a good separation between the stripes and solids. And let's see if Chris and Tara have what it takes to close out this match with this rack and advance to the next round of this finals bracket. Good cue ball control from Chris right there. Getting his partner a nice, easy, straight shot on the purple 4 ball there. And she could just put some stop or a little bit of low English, just draw shot. There we go. Just like that. Nice shot, Tara.
Alex R. to the mini tournament desk, please.
Just give your partner an opportunity here, and she has done that. Now, Chris might elect to play the combo here just because it affords better position on the rest of the balls. Because if he takes the 7 is the easier shot, but it brings the cue ball down this direction. And that's going to be kind of hard to hold for the 3 ball or anything. It might bounce up and kind of come this way. So he's looking at the combo right now. Even though it's a harder shot, he probably wants to play that combo because it makes the run out much, much easier if he can execute this. Well done. And he gets his partner a nice, good look at the 1 ball here. So Chris doing a great job. Both Chris and Tara doing a great job navigating through the traffic of this pattern here. And you could just see the concentration in both of their faces. They're serious. I mean, they really want to win this thing. And honestly, that's what it takes. You gotta take it real serious if you want to win. And Tara with a nice lead for her partner here on the 7. So he should be able to hit this 7 ball and bring the cue ball right down to a nice spot for the 3. That leads to the 6 after that. So I think Chris here wants to focus on getting the cue ball right flat on this bottom rail so that all Tara has to do after that is just pocket this ball with a stop shot. And then he can play the 6 up table after that. So I think that's what he's going to try to do, get as flat onto the bottom rail as possible. Well done. That's about as good as you could ask for. So Tara just needs to do a stop shot here. We've got a camera swaying over there, so something happened where the camera started swaying on us, but it'll slow down in just a second. And sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you're not getting too dizzy there. Somebody bumped the light post that the camera is mounted on, and so it started swaying here. So you're not it's not you. It's not you're not inebriated if you're watching this. It may feel like that. So this would be a heck of an out if Tara and Chris can complete this run out. This would be incredibly impressive, but Chris has got to come with a big-time shot here on the 6 ball. Right to that corner pocket. And he came with a big-time shot on the 8 ball in that last rack to close out the last rack. Chris is playing exceptionally well. Good cue ball control and good shot making. So let's see if we can do it one more time here. 6 in the corner. What do we got? Just a little bit offline. But he doesn't really sell out a big opportunity here for Maria and Kim. There's really not much for them to do offensively here.
On table 8, we have Just for Fun and Husky and Coog. Husky and Coog, just for fun.
So I think that Kim, who's coming to the table now, has got to be looking for a safety to maybe, come off of the edge of one of these balls and bring the cue ball back into this area here where Tara and Chris would not have any leave on that lonely 6 ball down there. So that's going to be the key here, is getting this safety to be executed just right. They are kind of lined up a little funny here, so it's not going to be the easiest thing to execute. I think she has to just hit a thin piece of the 14 and try to bring the cue ball back, and be careful not to scratch. This is very scratch potential here. Okay, so doesn't get the full block, gives a shot to Tara, but a very, very difficult long shot for Tara to execute. But hey, having some kind of a shot is better than having no shot. You got a chance. Just give it your best effort and see what happens.
All right, Jonathan and Paul H. on table number 1.
Good
Jonathan
try.
And Paul H. on table
And
number
not a bad leave.
1.
Giving some distance for Kim and
to table 15.
Kim and Maria.
C versus Allison on 15.
And I have to think maybe another safety might be coming here. Maria might choose to, just play this ball and roll forward with the cue ball, call safety, and just leave the cue ball right here. She has that option. Or she could pocket the 13 and then play the safety on the next shot. Uh-oh. Oh, that's going to leave an opportunity here. So Chris Tran coming to the table with a much, much easier shot than he had previously, than either him or Tara had previously. He can execute this at his skill level. He should be able to execute this fairly easily and leave him. Yeah, wants to leave Tara just right there. So just get 2 inches of draw and leave Tara a nice, easy 8-ball shot to pocket the 8. So here we go. This is for the match. These 2 balls. Beautiful. Couldn't have played it any better. So now Tara with the game-winning shot. And she's got to be happy that her partner left her a very, very good opportunity at this. Puts the slice of watermelon down to mark the pocket. Aims. Looks at the line. Fires it right in the hole, and